Today, from the Oval Office, President Donald Trump signed a major executive order that could significantly reshape how the United States approaches marijuana policy without legalizing it. Standing alongside doctors, medical researchers, veterans leaders, and senior health officials, President Trump announced that marijuana will be reclassified under federal law, moving it from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 of the Controlled Substances Act. This is a historic shift that supporters have pushed for decades. To understand why this matters, let's break it down simply. Schedule 1 substances are defined as having no accepted medical use and a high potential for abuse. Marijuana has been placed in that category since the 1970s alongside drugs like heroin. By moving cannabis to Schedule 3, the federal government is officially acknowledging that marijuana has legitimate medical uses while still keeping it tightly regulated. If this kind of clear, fact-based breakdown is helpful, go ahead and hit the like button. It helps this video reach more people who want real explanations, not just headlines. President Trump was very clear about one key point. This executive order does not legalize marijuana, and it does not approve recreational use. He framed the decision as an issue of common sense and compassion, particularly for patients suffering from extreme pain, aggressive cancers, seizure disorders, neurological diseases, and veterans dealing with service-related injuries. According to Trump, this move came after years of pressure from patients, families, and doctors. He said he received more calls about marijuana reclassification than almost any other policy issue, and overwhelmingly, those calls were in support. Polling cited during the announcement suggests that roughly 82% of Americans favor this change. Medical experts present at the signing explained why reclassification is such a big deal. For decades, marijuana's Schedule 1 status made serious scientific research extremely difficult. With this change, researchers can now properly study dosage, safety, benefits, risks, and long-term effects through large-scale clinical trials, something many doctors say is long overdue. Several physicians highlighted potential benefits for cancer patients, especially in managing pain, anxiety, and nausea caused by chemotherapy. Others pointed to cannabis-based treatments as possible alternatives to powerful opioid painkillers, drugs that have fueled America's devastating addiction and overdose crisis. Veterans groups strongly welcomed the decision. Leaders from the American Legion explained that many veterans suffer from PTSD, chronic pain, depression, and neurological conditions. While anecdotal evidence has long suggested cannabis may help, the lack of federal research left doctors without clear guidance. This executive order, they say, finally opens the door to real answers backed by science. If you want more clear, unbiased coverage of White House decisions and major U.S. policy shifts, make sure to subscribe to White Alert and turn on notifications. We break down what actually matters without the noise. Another major element of the announcement focused on hemp-derived CBD products. The administration is urging Congress to reconsider how CBD is classified, especially to help seniors and Medicare patients access products they already say help manage pain and chronic conditions. Federal health officials revealed new pilot programs that could allow millions of Medicare beneficiaries to receive CBD products through doctor recommendations, potentially starting next year. If successful, these programs could represent the first large-scale federal effort to study and regulate CBD access for older Americans. However, both the president and health officials emphasized caution. Marijuana is not harmless. It can be addictive, especially for young people, and misuse carries real risks. The administration stressed strict regulation, medical supervision, and continued warnings against recreational drug use, particularly for adolescents. Politically, this move is also significant. Multiple past administrations promised to address marijuana's federal classification, but never completed the process. While the proposal began under the previous administration, Trump's team finalized it, framing the decision as decisive leadership rather than continued delay. Supporters argue the executive order strikes a careful balance, expanding medical access, accelerating research, and maintaining safeguards. Critics, however, question whether the policy goes far enough or whether it could eventually open the door to broader legalization debates. What is clear is this: For patients living with severe pain, cancer, neurological disorders, and chronic illness, today's decision represents hope and the possibility of treatments guided by science rather than stigma. President Trump closed the event by signing the executive order and opening the floor to questions, calling the moment an example of common sense leadership and a step toward helping Americans live with less pain and more dignity. Now we want to hear from you. Do you believe reclassifying marijuana is the right move for patients and veterans, or do the risks still outweigh the benefits? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe to White Alert, and ring the bell, because decisions like this don't just shape headlines, they shape lives.